Welcome to Trail Playbook for a video guide to the Mt Umunhum Trail. The multi-use portion of this trail open to bikes is 3.5 miles long with 1,000 feet of elevation drop and rated green circle, so it's plenty wide with a gentle slope. And as you can see exiting the first turn, there are plenty of switchbacks to navigate on the way down. Mt Umunhum is in the Azul, the Blue Mountains Open Space Preserve, the southern, drier portion of the Santa Cruz Mountains. The summit opened to the public along with this trail in fall 2017. The land is managed by the Peninsula Open Space Trust, aka POST. This video was shot at sunset on a hot October 2020 day, so the conditions are maximally dry with dust over hard sandy conditions and many of the flat turns and transitions, like this one, providing some sliding excitement. Here's how I spot upcoming switchbacks. Most straightaways, especially at the top, come into a tight turn, and they're good sight lines. I'm constantly scanning ahead and looking for another trail line to signal a turn is coming, much like this one. The turn spotted, I pull some brake coming into it, push to the outside, and then accelerate coming out. I don't count on the switchbacks to be optimized for bikes, as this is a multi-use path that's plenty wide and flat for the most part in the middle. So the name, Mt Umunhum, is a sacred site of the Ohlone tribe where the name roughly translated to the resting place of the hummingbird. In discussing the history of Mt Umunhum, it's important to start with the Ama Mutsun tribal band. They were the stewards of this land for thousands of years, and in 2017, POST created a cultural conservation easement. The tribe is partnered with POST and other agencies, nonprofits, and educational institutions for natural resource conservation, cultural relearning, and public education. Mining came to the mountain in 1845 with the New Almond and Quicksilver operations. The cinnabar pigment in the rocks and soil used by the Ohlone people also contains mercury, which was used in gold processing, fueling the California gold rush. At 3,486 feet, Mt Umunhum is the second highest peak in the Santa Cruz Mountains, with a distinctive cube atop that is the remnants of an early warning radar antenna that was part of the Almaden Air Force Station from 1957 to 1980 that housed over 100 airmen and their families atop the mountain. And with an extended straightaway and a bit uphill, you can probably guess what's coming. Another tight turn, flat switchback. In this straightaway, spotting the trail down below gives a good cue. Once again, a tight, flat switchback. The bike used in this video is a 2019 Santa Cruz Stigmata with a PNW dropper post actuated by the wolf tooth leather on the left handlebar and WTB Ranger 650B by 2.0 tires at 21 front and 23 rear PSI for a rider weight of 155 pounds. But enough of that, this trail is fun to pedal up and cruise down on almost anything. Seeing the trail down to the left, cues up, one more of those tight, flat switchbacks. And I'm pushing a little far to the outside on that one. Scanning ahead, spotting that trail below, cues up another switchback. This one has a little bit of bank to it. Cruising through, nice and simple. So that's the end of the first mile, and there are less switchbacks the remainder of the trail, but don't let your guard down just yet. They're still out there. So I've ridden this trail on a gravel bike with almost slick tires uphill, trail bike, cross-country bike, etc. I really am a fan. This is truly one of the great multi-use trails in the Bay Area. Views from the summit span from Marin to Monterey, and you can even see the Sierras to the east on clear days, and amazing sunsets too. The grade is about 6%, so totally doable for a stroll, hike, trail run, or ride anything with knobby tires. And coming into what I argue is the trickiest part of the trail. So going uphill, with a little bit rocky, and then surprise, downhill switchback. There's really no warning. You can't see the sight line. And the best thing I recommend if you're riding this for efficiency is think when you're going uphill after about a mile, you're going to come up on that blind turn. Here's an extended straightaway with a view of the summit and beautiful foliage. Simply taking it all in. Crossing this bridge, and to the left on the other side is the ruins of a cabin belonging to the mysterious Lady of Mt Umunhum, who lived there a century ago. There's an interpretive sign that tells more of the story. And with trail below signifies another switchback is coming. And I'm not entirely sure if they're easier as you go down the trail or simply I got more used to it, but cruising through that one nice and smooth. Also worth noting, after crossing the first bridge, the trail does get a little bit rockier, as you can see bouncing around a bit through here, approaching the second bridge, but it's still plenty smooth and you can handle it on a rigid bike. And also, it might be October and super dry, but a little bit of a water crossing there through the mud. With an extended straightaway, the soil and the foliage. The soil are seafloor sediments that are fractured and lofted by geological action. So it's lots of fine sandstone in the soil material along with silt and clay. The foliage is coastal woodlands habitat with coast live oak, foothill pine, California bay. That's similar to bay laurel, the source of bay leaves, but much, much stronger. And my personal favorite, the multicolored bark of Pacific madrona, and of course, a good amount of manzanita as well. Coming into a tight left turn that is almost a switchback. Into another extended straightaway. A bird flying across the trail. And a gorgeous sunset view of Mount Hamilton and the Santa Clara Valley. At 2 miles in, spotting the trail below, signifying another switchback's coming. Getting ready for it. Pushing the outside and coasting through, picking speed back up. Seeing the trail below cues up another switchback is coming. This one with a great sight line. To the outside, through, picking up speed once more. Spotting the trail down below, and I think you got the rhythm by this point. Also worth mentioning, a great vista point off to the left of the trail. Also, that lookout turnoff is the last switchback on the trail. Now with that in mind, there's still quite a few more flat turns. This lasts just under a mile and a half. No more surprises in terms of a quick, hard left turn or right turn. And this feature can be a little tricky at speed. Downhill left, and then pushing right coming over a riser. Here's another downhill left with a riser on the exit. Simply be mindful of traction and control while going through them. Coming into an S turn for the final bridge crossing of the trail. An opportunity to shed a little bit of speed naturally. And a mile marker at the bridge with 1 mile left to go on the trail. Looking at the elevation profile on the left, It's a bit flatter here for a bit, so a great opportunity to pedal, 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 and have some fun. Coming into a tight left turn, but a great sight line to set up for it appropriately and cruise through. And a sweeping left turn with an uphill exit. Another flat left turn with a good sight line to set up. Coming into a clear view of the summit of Mount to the left with the cube atop to see how far you've come in just 3 miles. Here's an interesting turn, at least on a gravel bike. An uphill right with loose gravel, plenty of opportunities. It's fire road wide to push from the inside to the outside of the exit, and then continuing uphill as the trail narrows. These next 30 seconds are pretty straightforward, with a little bit of up mixed in, great sight lines, straightaways, and some fun sloping turns. Passing the 3-mile marker with a half-mile to go. And the last interesting thing, an intersection with Barlow Road, so a tight left turn, and then a tight right turn, continuing on for the final moments of the trail. Off to the left are the ruins of an old vehicle, and I always wonder when seeing them along a trail is, how did that get there? So that's the Mt Umunhum Trail with some history and some context thrown in. I hope you enjoy, and don't forget to smash subscribe and ring the bell to be in the loop for future Trail Playbook videos.